Hey, I'm Adam Chame.
And I'm Shoshana Chame, and we are the co-hosts of the Plan Trainers podcast, helping you improve your quality of life through nutrition and fitness.
Today we're here to talk to you about the 5 steps that you could take to help plan your fitness out. And there's so many things that you could do. There's so many places that you can get your information. And we wanted to share these 5 steps because they're things that have really helped us and the people we work with really get them to the next level with their fitness. If you're just starting out or if you've been training for a long time, you could always dial back and go back to these fundamentals.
And the reason why we know that these fundamentals that we're about to talk about are different than what everybody else is talking about is because we're really dialing it back, like Adam said, and we want you to go in and we want you to assess your fitness level.
And so we're going to give 5 of them. First is assess the fitness level, but stay tuned because at the end we're going to give you a bonus tip as well. So when you assess your level, the first thing you really want to do is probably take a photo of yourself, take a picture of yourself so that you can get an idea of what you look like, if that's important to you, where your weight's at, and how you're carrying your body composition so that later on when you go back to reevaluate, you'll have something to compare yourself. And that's really what assessment is all about. You're getting that baseline as you begin getting into the world of fitness. So taking that photo is the first thing. Then there's a whole bunch of different fitness tests that you could do to yourself. It all depends really in what direction you want to go in. It could be something from walking a mile, seeing how long that takes you, or running that mile, seeing how long it takes you. It could be a strength test, something like how many push-ups can you do with great form in a row without stopping. Things like that, maybe holding a plank for as long as you can and recording those times. So there's a whole whack of different fitness tests that you can do to assess your current level of fitness. And that's going to give you that baseline that you're really looking for.
And we haven't told you to make your goals yet, but if you do have a goal in mind, you're going to base your fitness assessment on that maybe goal that you might have coming up.
So after you choose your activity that you know you're going to enjoy, you want to come up with a fitness plan that's going to make sense for you. And what's going to make sense for you is not necessarily what's going to make sense for other people, the people around you. So finding a program online could be an option for you. It might work for you depending on what your goals are. Finding a coach to help guide you might be another option as well. Or you could just go with the flow, see what you could do, start off really slow. That's the key in the beginning of your program, no matter which way you go with it.
Now that you have an idea of what your program is kind of going to be, what your goals are, you need to start to assemble your tools.
And so the most important tool I think that you could have is your calendar, and setting up yourself for success by putting it into your calendar, setting reminders if you're using your phone. Using a handwritten calendar works too, but something that you check often and put it in there as if it's an appointment so that you are making it required for you to attend. And the other thing you need is to make sure you have the equipment that you are going to need for your activity. So if you're going for a walk or a run, you want to make sure you have proper running shoes as your example. The other great tip that I love and give people is that if you know you're going to be doing your exercise the next day, which you should because you checked your calendar and your schedule, set out your clothes the night before so that when you get up out of bed, they're already on the floor or they're on the bench or wherever they are, they're ready for you to put them on, ready for you to start your workout, and it reminds you right away that you got to get it done.
Can you sleep in your clothes the night before so you don't have to get dressed in the morning?
So you laugh, but there have been people that have done that because that's what gets them going the next morning. They wake up, they're already dressed, they just slide on their shoes, they go out the door. It happens. People do it all the time. Not me, but other people do.
I don't think it's meant to breathe through the night, but you do what you got to do.
Yeah, and if you're going to start attending classes, whether they're spin classes or aerobic classes or swim classes, just make sure you add that to your schedule. You know when they are ahead of time, so it's not a last minute kind of get together and then you're going to miss the class. Make yourself accountable to it.
Okay, so here's where people sometimes get hung up. You need to take action.
So you actually have to do what you're going to say you're going to do, right? So the key here is to start slow and remember that progress is going to take patience and you're going to improve over time Don't expect any miracles. Don't expect change to happen overnight. A lot of people look at what's happening on social media and they see huge changes, but they don't see all the work that goes into it. So there's a lot of work that's going to go into you improving your level of fitness. So just be patient with that. Be creative in your workout if you're setting your own plan. Don't be afraid to do things that other people might not be doing, but things that you enjoy. That's okay. And pay attention to your body. So if you do your fitness training, your workout, and your body's not reacting well to it, that tells you something. So you need to make adjustments, you need to make changes. Maybe you need a rest day, maybe you need a day off, maybe you don't. So just be mindful of that. And the other thing I'll say when taking action is you don't have to do all your fitness in one shot. It's okay to do something in the morning. You don't have enough time to finish it. Come back to it later in the day and do it again, or continue it later in the day. It's totally fine to break things up throughout the day to do whatever works for your schedule.
And again, something that will differentiate this video from a lot of the other ones that you've seen out there is make sure that you are monitoring your progress.
Yeah, you got to keep track of what's going on. So whether you're using a journal or an app or writing it down on a piece of paper, whatever you choose as your method to keep track, it's really helpful to you. It gives you some feedback based on your workout. So you could always look back at the beginning of the week, see what you've been doing, see where you're at this week. Lets you know if you need to adjust something, tweak something, make it a little more efficient. If you didn't like it, write it down. I didn't love it today. I wasn't feeling well. How can you make it better for the next session? So that's really, really important that you are able to grab that feedback, review your progress, and then go ahead and adjust moving forward. And the other thing is, obviously, as you move through your training, take photos of yourself again so that you could use those photos later to go back to your baseline photo and see the changes so that you'll feel good about what you've done, and you'll also have proof of change over time, which could be something you're very interested in, especially if one of your goals is to lose weight. So that's 5 steps that you could take to plan your fitness. And if you remember back at the beginning of the video, I said I'd give you a bonus tip. And it's such a simple thing that people sometimes forget. And it's just this: have fun.
What?
Make sure you're having fun doing what you're doing, because if it isn't fun for you, the chances of you continuing to do this fitness routine, to do the exercise or the workout long term, goes down. So if you enjoy what you're doing, you're more likely to do it. I'm Adam, that's Shoshana. We're the Plant Trainers. Thanks for being here. Check us out on the Plant Trainers podcast.